Well, hey everyone, welcome back. Tim here, Gamma VD. Quick one today. It's been a while since I have refreshed the instructions on how to set up our Snap-on wind fairing. So I've learned a few tricks over the years. Thought I'd put those together in a quick video for you. So let's jump into it. So to start, this applies to all of the Snap-on fairings. So the traditional shape, the slim shape, and of course the super slim shape for like a 60 rack. Any of them that use these plastic clips. So with your rack or with your fairing, you would have gotten the actual fairing hardware kit. The only tool you need is a 5/32 Allen wrench, which I like the screwdriver version. So let me show you how to set it up. In your hardware bag, should have received 4 of these plastic clips, 8 of these now black 1/4-20 bolts, and 8 of these flange nuts, and a strip of 10 little dots. That's all you need. Flip your fairing upside down and then position kind of the first side is going to look like that, where I hold this up. You know, the bar is going to run this way and then the bar is going to run that way. So we'll just take those black bolts, poke them up through the hole, poke them through the clips, put the nuts on. Do that on all 4 of them. Okay, there we go. So all 4 are on. You can see that. And these are loose. I can twist these around. So my next move is then taking the clips that will become the bottom, where in this case, you know, and if you want to see, you just see where the Gamma VD is. It's going to be the one on the bottom here. I'm going to pull these down all the way. And I think this is different from how I did that video a few years ago in the snow, but I found this works pretty good. So I'm just going to push this clip as far down as I can, and then I'm going to tighten those 2 bolts. So just kind of holding that flange nut with my thumb as I do that. So tighten that one. Other side. And tighten this one, again pulling it tight to the bottom of the fairing. Okay, step 1, 2, whatever. Next move then is going to be to put these little rubber dots on, and there's 10 of them, so 5 in the bottom, 5 at the top. And I like to use a straight edge if I have one. I got a little 4-foot level here, and it just kind of lets me keep things straight. If you imagine though that there's this 1-inch diameter bar in the inner radius there, you can essentially predict where that's going to touch. And the intention is the dot is going to be between the fairing and the rack, so that any wind chatter or anything is going to be dampened by those dots. So do 1 on the outside and then 3 across the middle here. So about there. Of course, if you don't want to use a straight edge, you're welcome to just eyeball it. And you can even move the dots after the fact. Doesn't really make much of a difference. And there we go. So I position the bottom ones on like that. The top one, you're definitely going to eyeball this because I know it's basically, you know, just before the edge of the fairing there is where those go. So if you need more of these, you know, these are just for drawers, you know, the soft close drawer slides for your kitchen. Pretty easy to find, but there you go. There's all 10 dots on that fairing. And then my next move is come over to the rack. So I've got this rack set up on buckets, as I always do when I'm doing an install. And I found that fairing install is a lot easier to do on the ground than when it's up on the truck. But of course you can do it both ways. What I'm doing though, is I just put that bottom, you know, again, the tight clamps are on the bottom. And then I'm just gonna squeeze this in and slide that up there. And there it is, and maybe kind of center it a little bit. And that's it. So, last step. I'll show you from the back of the rack here. It might be a little easier, but remember this top one is still loose. So I'm gonna push down on the fairing with my thumb and then pull up on the plastic clip with my fingers, trying to create a little bit of resistance there. While I do that, I hold those flange nuts with my fingers and then I tighten those bolts just like that. Do both sides. And that's really all there is to it. There should be a fair amount of resistance side to side. I can still move this, but it's tough. And it's really not gonna move when it's on your truck. Get that in the center. Of course, I can still remove this. You know, if we're doing the light bar, this still has a snap-on feature to it. But that's it. And then you can hear that you don't hear a lot of chatter. Those rubber guys are doing some dampening, but I can look back there and just verify that those rubber pads are where they need to be. So there you go. And that's it. So one more look at the fairing here. Clips on there and all the dots in their spot. Of course, you know, lifetime warranty on these clips. If you break one, let me know. I'll send you another one. No big deal there. I do sell additional ones if you feel like you want to put a third set in there or a fourth. You know, of course, you're welcome to do that. You know, they don't cost much, so do that. But really, this setup right here is what's out there on, geez, 80-90% of all the installs that we do, and they seem to be doing really well. So again, let me know your questions, and thanks for the request for this video, and let me know what else you want to see, of course, in videos as well as products. And as always, see you on the next one.